Hello, everybody. This is Gareth Cahoon Speaks back here with a boring for you, Burnham for you. I'd like you to hit the subscribe bar, give me a thumbs up if you like the video, or hit the notification bell to be notified when I post my next post. Or otherwise, you can donate to my ministry and the charities that I support at garethcahoon3 at gmail.com on PayPal. This one here is about Socialist takes charge in the United Kingdom. Seventh new Prime Minister in just a decade. King Charles asked the Labour Party leader Andy Burnham to form a new government today, making him Britain's seventh Prime Minister in just a decade. Burnham's self identified socialist pledge to bring a new political and economic model, criticising the 1980s policies of Margaret Thatcher, who used free market strategies to tamp rampant inflation in the UK. Burnham served in the Parliament for 16 years and as a mayor of Greater Manchester, and has little experience of international affairs. He replaces Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Starmer was forced to give up his position as leader of the Labour Party after losses in the 2026 local elections and controversial policy decisions. Burnham now faces the immense task of kick-starting Britain's sluggish economy. He is also faced with the monumental problem of reducing government debt, which now equals more than 95% of the gross domestic product, the highest since the early 1960s. But his first task will be to fill his cabinet, selecting leaders for the key positions of Treasury Chief, Defence Secretary, Foreign Secretary, and Home Secretary, who controls immigration and policing. The Reform UK Party, which opposes unchecked immigration, has recently devastated Labour in local elections, which led to calls for Starmer's resignation. But since the Labour Party still holds a majority in Parliament, its leader also becomes the UK Prime Minister. Under Britain's parliamentary democracy system, governing parties can change leaders mid-term, with the winner becoming Prime Minister without the need for a general election. But considering Labour always was the party of democracy, Andy Burnham was elected on 25,000 votes. 25,000 votes in a country of over 90 million. Yes, that's right. 25,000 votes. And he gets to lead to be the leader of one of the most powerful countries in the world. And he's no foreign policy experience. And all he has is a t-shirt, a nice smile, a nice haircut, but absolutely vacuous inside. He's even tried a bit of singing when he was in his black cab. But for me, he will lead our country towards socialism, Marxism, and communism. And he'll do it with the biggest smile on his face. A bit like Zoran Mandani of New York. let's hope and pray that he does a good job for us. And no matter what we think of Andy Burnham and the Labour Party, if we are Christians, we are called to pray for our leaders, even when it is excruciatingly difficult to pray for a man who is antithetical to everything that we believe. We are still called to pray for his safety, his protection, and that God would hem him in on every side and point him in the direction that he wants. Because we have seen it happening. Like, for example, when Joe Biden was in charge of the United States, he could have done so much more harm to the United States. Only Christians were praying throughout the United States, and Joe Biden was hemmed in on every side. This is what we need to pray for here, that God would restrain him when he wants to go liberal, and cause him to work for God's plans, and that God's plans will be the ones that will prosper. That's what we need to pray. So pray for Andy Burnham and his cabinet, even though it hurts, because that is what we're called to do as Christians. Pray for those in authority. Shalom, Maranatha, and Hallelujah.